Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lab Coding, and in today's video, I'm going to continue working on the UI demo exercise by starting the performing part or the performer part. Here we need to start with the config file. So to do that, you need to go to your file explorer. Just click this icon and go to the data folder and open this config.xlsx file. So the first thing that we need to do in here, let me yeah, we need this one. Don't delete this. Later I will explain why. So here the first thing we need to do is update this queue or the orchestrator queue name. So remember what we use. Make sure to copy the same name on your queue. Let me copy this one and put that in here. And then another thing is we need to add a credential. So let's put here a UI demo credential. And wait, let me check what's the name suggested by UiPath for the uh, credential. So UI demo credential underscore REFramework. Let me do the same here. UI demo credential underscore framework or RE framework. I should not forget that. All right, so after you've done with that, save the file. Make sure to save the file and close it. Every time you made the changes on your config file, make sure to close it because if you forgot to close that file and you run your code, it will give you an error. So let me close that one first. And because we add a credential in our config file, we need to create that credential as well in our orchestrator. So to do that, go to your assets tab. So here I have credential created. Let me delete those first so we could have a clean start. Let me add a new asset. So here, let's use the same name. That should be UI demo credential RE underscore RE framework. The type should be credential. And here you need to put the username and password. And remember, UiPath provided those information. So this should be the credential, username and password. Let's just copy the same. It's user and should be password. Let me confirm that. All right. Now, once you put that, hit this create button. Now you have an asset created for this exercise. Okay, now going back to the UiPath Studio, let me close that one. We no longer need that. That is our dispatcher sequence. So here, first thing is we need to create a UiDemo subfolder. So how to do that? Go back again to your file explorer and here, new folder, create a new folder. Name that UiDemo. Hit enter. Close that dialog box and now when you go back in here, hit this refresh button. You should see that folder. And now we need to create a new sequence. So go here at new sequence. We need to name the sequence UI demo underscore login. Hit the create button. Oh, I forgot. You need to have the sequence inside the UI demo folder. So let me go back to File Explorer again. Look for that sequence and drag that to your UI demo folder. Now hit refresh in here. So we have that inside the UI demo folder now. So as advised by UiPath as a best practice is to always start your sequence with a description or annotation. So how to do that is, well, just right click here, go to annotation, add annotation. So this sequence will log into the UI demo application. So anything something like that. Once you're done, click anywhere on this page. And the next step is to create an in argument. So go to your argument panel, then we'll name it in credential. And again, direction should be in, and it should be a string argument type. Right. Now the next thing is we need to use the get app credential activity. So we're to get that here on the framework folder. So I don't know why, but in the latest version of UiPath Studio, the get app credential is missing. And I've seen a lot of inquiries regarding this. And I also made a research on how can I have that activity. I found a forum and they provided a GitHub link where you can download the get app credential file and just copy to your framework folder. But I did think of another way. So here it is. So if you have an old REFramework project on your PC, go to that project and or go to that project folder and look for the get app credentials. So in this example, since I've worked on this project before, if I check my framework folder, I still have the get app credential.xaml file. So what you need to do is copy that file to your UI demo framework folder. So here, let's go to File Explorer again, go to Framework, and let's paste that GetAppCredential.xaml file. Now close that, hit refresh in here. Now you can see that available now. Now let me inspect the GetAppCredential.xaml file first. Now here we've got an error, and it is because we don't have the dependencies for this activity installed. So how to resolve that is this. Let me close that one first. You need to go here to your dependency and right click in here and click manage. So here you can see that the UiPath credential is not installed yet. So how to install that? You need to go here at all packages and then search for the UiPath.credentials. There, look for the UiPath.credential.activities, and then you will have an option here to install that. Hit that install button, and after you click that, hit the save button. And now we should be able to use that activity. So let me check again the get app credential. Let me inspect that. Now we no longer have an error. So that's how you will solve that. So let me go back in the UI demo login sequence. Again, we need to use that or invoke that XAML file in here. And then here we are required to set up the arguments. We have three arguments in here. First is the credential, and then the username and password as the output argument. So here we need to change this. It should be equal to the argument that we just created, which is in underscore credential. And then we need to have a variable that will contain the username and password retrieved by the GetApp credential. So we can automatically create those variable by pressing Control K on your keyboard. Oh, oh, what happened? Let me cancel that first. Import argument. Oh, was not updated. Again, let's put here IN credential. Now Control K here, and let's create a username variable. Same with the password. Control K and a password variable. Now once you're done, hit the OK button. So when you go to your variable panel, you will see that we have two variable created, and the variable type or the correct variable type was automatically assigned to those variable. Let me close that one. And the next thing is, for the meantime, we need to open the UI demo application. So where I have that. So go to the folder where you save the UiDemo.exe, open that, and so first thing here is we need to use the unattached window activity. Go to your activity funnel, search for attached window, indicate that on screen, and select that UI demo application. So you might want to verify that you capture the correct application. So you could do that by going into this selector property, and it should says here on the title that it's UI demo. Now the next thing is we need to use a type into activity to type in the username. So let's look for type into. Now indicate the username field. So here on the text, let's assign username and make sure to enable the simulate type property. So what the simulate type property is? So it is important, especially when you want to type the value on the username text box, even if the UI demo application is not in front. So maybe that's on there is another application in front of your desktop. So even if that case happen, still UiPath will be able to type in the username to this field. Okay. Now the next thing is we need to have the type secure text. So search for type secure text. So this is only applicable if the value you're going to type is a secure string. Or if you go back to your variable, you can see that the variable type of password is secure string. So you cannot use type into activity for that. Let's indicate that password field. Now here, let me check again the simulate type and secure text. Here, let's use the password. Now hit OK. And then we need a click activity. So here we have a click activity. Indicate again the login button. And we'll also need to enable the simulate click. Okay, so now we need to, that's all that we need for this UI demo login sequence. So let's test this, and I don't want to test it by just simply assigning default variable value in here. So let's do it on the best way. So to test your sequence, it would be better to use the built-in um, test.xaml file in here. So go to your test folder, look for the test workflow template, activate that one, and then here, one good thing of using it is that it automatically read the config file, so you could connect to your config file. We have here the argument already set up. So what you need to do in here is to invoke your UI demo login sequence. So let me ensure that I have that sequence saved, and then invoke that in here. You can drag that. And here, as you can oh, where's the argument? There should be an argument in here. Let me verify. Did I save this? Wait, let me. It should show one argument. Let me delete that first. Again, let's drag that in here. Well, I don't know why is that not showing. Let me delete that again. And there should be an argument. It should be showing in there, but yeah, let me close this. And again, let's invoke the file. Still, why there is no argument? Oh, why it's still in here? Wait, let me verify. Okay, let me delete this one. All right, I think I'm. Oh, all right. So I should have not delete that. So let me do that again. So let's open File Explorer in here. Now let's delete this one, and now let's move this in here. I think that happened because I did not close the SAML file earlier when I move it to the correct folder. So now we should be good. So let me delete this one again first and invoke that UI demo login sequence again. Now we have one in argument. So here we need to use the config, and again, what's the name that we use in here? Let me go back to asset, and I forgot the credential. Okay, so let me open the config file first. So what we need in here is the name of the credential, the UI demo credential. Oh, I forgot this one. Let's copy that. And here you need to put config and then that credential name and of course the toString. Don't forget that. Hit the OK button. And once you're done with that, we can test it by going to debug file and select run file. Let's see if it will work. Did it work? Hmm. I think one thing it was not able to do is to hit that login button. Let me check that again. UI demo. Alright. Let me try to capture that again. And let me verify the selector. That should be correct. I don't know why. So before you start, make sure that the UI demo is open. Save that. Now let's test it again. Run file. There you go. I think it worked. No, it did not because there's probably something wrong in here. It's retrieving an incorrect credential. Let me. Oh, I know. It should be admin. It's not the user. That's something I missed. So let me go back to my asset and here let's edit this. So it should be admin and the password is password. Hit update. Now let me delete these values and go to your UiPath again. Now let's test this. Run file. Okay, now it works. So we have the UI demo login created successfully. Now the next thing, let me close those sequence first. Next thing is we need to set up the init all application. So uh, go to your framework, look for the init all applications. So here we need to add an open application activity right there, and then so we need to indicate this UI demo application, and you can see here the path of that application. But as part of the best practices, or as part of UiPath best practice, is avoiding this kind of path declaration, So we can have this static path as part of our config file. So let me copy that first, and let me open the config file again. Here I will be adding a new setting. So I will call that UiDemo path. And here I will put that path value. We need to remove that quote symbol, so that if we need to change the path of the transaction data, or if we need to change the path of the UiDemo application, we just need to change that from the config file without editing our code. So make sure to save that after you updated the UiDemo path. Close that file, and now here what we're going to do is we'll change this into configuration, and it should be UI demo path, that to string. Hmm. Oh, it's not accepting it. Why? Maybe it's config. It should be configuration. Well, what's the matter in here? Oh, it's in config. Yeah, that's something. That's why it's not accepting it. So let me go back again. File name, and it should be inconfig, and the name of that path, and to string. Hit OK. Now it should be good. Now the next thing is we need to invoke the UI demo login, and of course set the arguments. This should be equals to inconfig UI demo. I hope it's correct. UI demo credential, that to string. Let me verify that on the test workflow. Oh, that's correct. That should be correct. There you go. Now we can test this sequence as well. Let me close this one so we don't need that UI demo application open. Let's go back to the test workflow template. Let's delete this one. Now instead of the UI demo, we will invoke the InitAllApplication sequence. And of course, we need to import arguments in here. This should be equals to the config. Okay, and save it, and now run file. Yeah, it opened the application successfully. Now it should be attempting to log in. Okay, what just happened? We had an error. Oh, it's still opening application. Oh, we have an error. Oh, I think yeah, maybe because of the selector. I think this should be the window I use. So Let me fix that. Go here and in the selector, let's indicate this one. Okay, select OK, and the file name should still be the same. Yep. Now let's save that and try to run again from the test workflow template. Go here and wait, let me close that one. Hit the run file. Now it works. Okay, so we just successfully created or fixed the InitAllApplication.xaml. Now the next one is the CloseAllApplication.xaml. So let me close this one first. Look for this CloseAllApplication. And here we need to add one activity, which is the kill process activity, and drag that to your sequence. And here one thing we need to set is the process name. So it should be um, I explore the text. So it will be different if you are using the Google Chrome instead as your browser. So if you're IE, you should be good using this. Hit OK and save that. Now close that again. Next is we need to work with the process.xaml. So look for your process.xaml, activate that. And I think before we get started, the first activity we should add is a flowchart. So we could have a good view of what we are going to do or what this process is going to do. Add a flowchart activity. Now double click inside that activity. So first thing is we need to add a sequence. So look for a sequence in here. Drag that here. Let's connect the start to that sequence. It should be, one of the best practices to, of course, modify the display name of your sequence so you could easily see what the sequence does. So it's this sequence will assign the data, right? Now let's go inside that sequence. So here we need to create three variables or three string variable. First one is the cache in, and then the honest check, and then the not honest check. Okay, and we need to add an assign activity. So look for assign activity, drag that in here. So let's assign value to our three variable. So let's start with cache in. So it should be IN transaction item and that specific content cache in and to string. So this syntax is not mentioned on the PDF file. So this is all what you need to properly assign the value to our three variable. So make sure to take note of that and then hit OK. Now next one is the honest check. Now go to the value. It should be IN, oops, IN transaction item. Oops, that specific content. It should be the on as honest check that to string. Right, hit OK. Now the last one is the not honest check. And then let's assign a value to that. It should be IN transaction item not on as check that to string. I don't know why it's not captured. Oh, I forgot the specific content. That specific content. So better type that so you will always remember how to do that properly. Now the next thing is we need to create three additional variable, but this time they should be a double data type. So let's create one here. So we'll just add the prefix dbl underscore, and then the variable type, look for double. If that's not available, browse for types, and then here type in double, and look for this one, the one under ms core lib system double. Choose that one. Then next one is the double honest check. Select double and the double not on as check. Now select double, and it should be good on that. So these are all what we need on the assign sequence. So let's go back to our flowchart. So the next thing that we need to do in here is to validate or to check if the input or the input is valid. So we can do that using the double the tries parse method. So we need to add the flow decision in here. Look for flow decision activity, drag that there, and let's connect that first. Oh, I can fix that. Now let's change the display name, data valid. So if it's true, it's valid. If it's not, it's invalid. Okay, so let's put a condition in here. Again, we'll be using the double the try parse method. So it's like this, double the try parse, um, cache in, double cache in, and double again, double the try parse. Now on as check, then let's assign that to double on as check, and then the last one is double the try force, uh what's that, not on as check. Let's assign that to double not on as check. And then we have here an error saying that on as check not declared. Really, double on as check not declared, double not declared. Okay, that's okay. I think I know why. Hit that OK button first. Now go back to your assigned data. Now in here, we'll have to change the scope of this variable to the general sequence. So let's do that by using the flowchart instead of assigning data sequence only. Using flowchart on the scope will make this variables accessible to the other activities. And now when we go back in here, you will see that we have the error cleared. Okay, so now we need to assign the next activities if it's valid or if it's invalid. So let's start with if it's invalid. So you need to throw an exception. So look for throw activity in here. So here we need to edit the exception. It should be new business rule exception and input data invalid. All right. Once you have that, hit the OK button and connect that to the invalid. Why it's not going straight? Oh, let me do this way. Okay, now if it's valid, we need to run another validation. So we need to add another flow decision in here. So we need to check in here if the cash in value is less than 1000. Okay. So let's edit the label. If it's false, it's less 1000. If it's true, it's greater than more than 1000. All right, and then the condition should be double cash in is less than 1000. Oh, no, 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 it should be greater than 1000 because of our label. Hit OK. Now can connect that to the valid condition in here. Okay, the next thing is if it's valid, and then we need to throw another exception. So again, look for the throw exception in here. Now we can use the same exception, new business rule exception. Let's say what we can say in here, cash in too large. Hit the OK button. Then so that is if it's more than 1000. Let's put that in here. However, if it's a less than 1000, meaning these are the items that we will process. So we need to add an attach window. So look for attach window. Let's name it, okay, where's the name, the display name? So enter the data to UiDemo application. So here, let's double click in here. Now let's indicate that, oh, let me activate that one, indicate that UI demo screen. So let me confirm the selector. So here we need to add three. Type into activity. Go to your activities funnel. Look for type into. So let's start with the cash in. And the value should be equals to cash in. Another type into. So honest check. Value should be the honest check. Last is the not honest check. Should be the not honest check. And another activity we need to add is a click button to hit the accept button on the UI demo application. So indicate that accept button, and don't forget to activate simulate click and simulate type on each activity here. And save it. Okay, now let's go back to flowchart and connect that. So if it's less than 1000, it's good for processing. And I think that's all that we need in here. So now we have completed the framework, but I want you to do this first. So let me go to the main XAML first. So I want you to do this first every time. Yes, every time before you run your whole project, give some time of validating it first if there's an error or none. So to do that, you'll just need to go to your design tab and look for this analyze file icon and select validate project. Doing this will let you know that you don't have any error or if there's something that you need to fix first before you run it. Okay, so if there's no error found, you should be good, but if there is, then you better fix that first. So let me remove that. Okay, so now I'm ready. Let me check first my orchestrator and verify that I still have or we still have remaining items in our queue. So let me refresh that. Oh no, go to queue, refresh, And yes, I can confirm that we still have the 106 remaining items. We haven't touched anything yet. So now go to your project again. And here on the debug file, it would be better if you run it from the main. So go to debug file and select run. Oh, I think I forgot to close this application first. Wait. Um, oh, it opened. Was opened by the tool. All right, so first item works. So I think it should be good. I don't had any error. So this is the expectation. If you made everything correct, then you should be seeing the same thing happening on my screen. It will continuously retrieve or get transaction data from the orchestrator queue. Every data retrieved, then bought as long as it passed the validation, which is what we did on the process flow chart. As long as the data is valid, then it will enter those data in this UI demo application. So it might be that long because it's 106 items that needs to be entered on the data, but maybe I'll just fast forward this part when I uploaded it. So so if you encounter any problem, you could put that or whatever is that, just ask that on the comment section, and I'll do my best to immediately respond to your question. But hopefully I covered everything clear, and as much as possible I discuss everything in detail. So I hope that you did not miss anything. But if you do, I think the first thing is go back, review review each part of the topic that I discussed. So maybe I could also put some what do you call that, the chapter on the video. So if you want to go back on a specific part of the video, you can do that. So, well, yeah, I take note of that. So it would be easy for you to go back on different part of the transaction or part of the project. And again, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, so you will always get notified. What I am doing is that every time I saw a new release of UiPath, the web page or the website update or the a new studio version release, I'm trying to review using, I mean, by the means of doing all these exercises again, so I can um again study how this REFrame works. But this is a good first exercise for UiPath RE framework. Once you are good with this, then you'll pretty have a good background before you go and start with the two additional exercise, which are calculate client security hash and generate yearly report. So I think that's all that I can share to this video, and I hope that it will be able to help you solving the first exercise. So make sure as well to give a like button if you understand everything. And that's all for today. That's all for now. Thank you, bye, and peace.